Yep, and speaking of not doing much yesterday, guess who's 0-4? And they're in Florida. The Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence.
That game was closer than I expected, though.
You know, it was. It was closer than expected. And you know what? But I thought the Jaguars would finally pull it off. But then you know what? I also knew that Stroud is that guy. And we saw it last year. He hasn't dropped off at all this whole season. Even in losses, he's still looking like the person we saw last season with more improvement. And Trevor Lawrence has just joined the crew. And well, what do you think? Trevor Lawrence, bro. This is it.
You know, we've been talking about Trevor since last year. I have no answers, man. I don't know. Is their coach on the hot seat?
Oh, absolutely. Now he's calling people out at press conferences now, throwing players under the bus. Going into this game, he was trying to hold his tongue. And he was talking about after the last loss, everything's on the table now. And he made people kind of believe that Mac Jones would be getting an opportunity, which he may need because he did look good in the preseason. And at least in his rookie year, he did look good. But with all the turmoil going over in New England, we just don't know what stumped his development. Was the behind-the-scenes nonsense, or was he one of these people who just couldn't acclimate to the NFL? Apparently, it looks like that way, but maybe with his changed environment and the way he looked in the preseason and being the veteran that he is, hometown guy. I watched him play as well in high school at Bowles. Maybe if he gets the opportunity, if Doug Pederson is going to get fired. He's like Billy Napier, which is right down the way in Gainesville with the Gators. They're both going to get fired, it seems. And after all the money Shad Khan, the owner of the Jaguars, put into this team, both offensively and defensively, he didn't want 0-4 results, even in a 17-game season. So now I'm thinking that if you're going to go down and get fired, put in freaking Mac Jones. Forget the contract that Trevor Lawrence had gotten. You can do it for 1 year only. If it saves the season, let management think about what's going to happen between what Mac Jones or what you're going to trade him with this and that, or what's going to happen with Trevor Lawrence and all that money you had given him. Let them think about that. Put him in there. I think there are fans and enough fans asking for him to go in there anyways. People, I don't know if they're getting completely fed up with Trevor Lawrence because he built some goodwill. He does well in the community. He's an overall good guy according to everyone, but they want results. This is a business, and the Jaguar fans are at a point to where they're just not happy to be there anymore. They're not just happy to just have success in the playoffs 2 seasons ago, to come back to 0-4 and and becoming the laughing stock of the NFL again.
So it's 0-4 this season, but I believe it's 11 losses in a row going back to last season.
The last win they had was Thanksgiving.
Trevor Lawrence, you're on an 11-game losing streak. Grab some bench, pal.
That's what it should be. But yeah. I understand the dilemma with that $250 or $270 million contract. I understand the dilemma that comes with that.
They're not going to fire Lawrence. They're going to fire the coach. So
exactly. They're going to fire you anyway. Do it your way. I don't think Shad Khan's going in there and telling you better not put in Mac Jones. If this is going to get
who thought Andy Dalton was going to come in and win the game for the Panthers? Mac Jones maybe can do that for the Jaguars. I mean, they have way more talent than the Panthers. Huh?
Look what Nick Foles did for Carson Wentz when he came in. Yeah. I mean, he won a Super Bowl with it. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go that far, but I think Mac Jones has something in him. I liked Mac Jones from the beginning. I wanted the Jets to take Mac Jones. It still would have been a mess yesterday with Mac Jones, but I still wanted the Jets to take him. I think Mac Jones, at this point, I think he's on the upside if he comes into the Jacksonville Jaguars argument right now at quarterback. And I think he can do something better than what Trevor Lawrence is doing because I'm still seeing the same things.
He can't do much worse, I don't think.
No, under 200-yard day, he had 2 touchdowns in the beginning. He looked like they were heading in the right direction. But when you watch him play, the stats don't do enough. You have to watch him play and see him miss these receivers, see him throwing behind receivers, guys wide open. You're just missing them. I mean, Neighbors, he's just a rookie. He seems to be fed up. This is a blazing dude. You overthrowing him. Come on. And that's what the Jaguars are doing. Now they're 0-4, and it's an embarrassment. Doug Pederson's job should and is on the line right now. I don't care whoever says what. You don't put up this kind of money to see 0-4. Regardless of his championship in Philadelphia, that's not Jacksonville. They need more than that here, and they're getting a new stadium. Bro, people already say, yo, stop the construction. They're saying that now. Stop the construction. You see what we have here. But, yeah, the Jaguars are looking good, and Trevor Lawrence is leading the way and not looking good. Travis Etienne didn't start the game. Maybe
Trevor needs a sports psychologist or something.
I don't know. Yeah, a hypnotist. Maybe a hypnotist or something, man. I mean, they tried to make him a superstar. I know he started getting commercials and going national. Man, other than the Fabio and Butter, what the hell else are you going to do? Come on. But the Jaguars have a long way to go, and I don't think Doug Pederson, if things don't change in like the next 3 games, and I'm talking about just getting a win. They should get one this weekend against Indianapolis here in Jacksonville, but Joe Flacco and not Anthony Richardson is there, so Joe Flacco has enough experience to see what we saw him do last year with Cleveland, and get them to where they are. So I don't know. This isn't a guarantee either. I mean, the home crowd means what? That the people closest and dearest to you are going to watch you lose? That's all that means. All the other people watching you lose.